The map of war has always been drawn in chaos and fire. Two forces move, collide, and vanish, yet behind every explosion hides a calculation. Every war begins with the same question: how can you survive when logic seems to disappear? For centuries, commanders have tried to answer that question not with strength, but with strategy. In battle, chaos is never random, it's designed. Every movement, every distraction, every silence serves a purpose. From the deserts of North Africa to the frozen plains of Russia, victory often belonged not to the strongest army, but to the smartest. A sniper's single shot could control hundreds of soldiers. A false retreat could destroy an entire army that believed it was winning. These moments reveal that war is less about killing and more about manipulation of terrain, of time, and of human behavior. The great tacticians of history didn't just fight. They predicted reactions like chess players 3 moves ahead. Each tactic was born from desperation and refined by survival. The chaos of battle became a system of logic hidden beneath the noise. And whether it was ancient cavalry charges or modern armored divisions, the same truth remained: control the pattern and you control the war. To understand warfare is to understand human thinking at its most extreme. Even in destruction, there's design. Every order shouted, every movement drawn is part of a grand equation of fear and timing. In this documentary, we'll look beyond explosions and see what truly wins wars: the ideas behind them. These are the tactics that shaped empires, rewritten by history, but repeated in every generation. Let's decode the logic of chaos and see what war tactics truly reveal about the human mind. From ancient fields to digital battle maps, humans have always looked for patterns in chaos. The art of tactics began the moment survival met intelligence. Early hunters learned to flank prey before generals learned to flank armies. Strategy was born not from cruelty, but from adaptation. Every age reinvented the same question: how do you win without being destroyed? The answer came in movements, timing, and deception. Tactics became the grammar of conflict, the structure that gives meaning to motion. Even in the noise of war, they formed sentences of precision. Shields, swords, trenches, satellites, each era only changed the tools, never the logic. The human instinct to calculate remained the same. In medieval sieges, commanders learned patience as much as courage. Waiting could be deadlier than charging. The industrial wars brought machines that moved faster than thought. But even then, thought was still the sharpest weapon. Modern armies now use algorithms instead of messengers. Yet behind every code, there's still a human trying to predict another human. Tactics exist because uncertainty exists. They are the bridges between chaos and control. From Rome to cyber warfare, every tactic tells the same story: humans learning to outthink danger. To understand why tactics exist is to see war as a mirror of reason. Behind every maneuver, there's the oldest human desire to survive intelligently. And that's why every great general, from Sun Tzu to the digital strategist, speaks the same unspoken language of adaptation. Every war begins with the first move, and in that moment, speed becomes power. To strike first is to decide the rhythm of the battle. Blitzkrieg. The lightning war showed that chaos could be planned. Tanks, planes, and infantry struck as one, faster than communication itself. In 1940, Europe learned that mobility could replace sheer numbers. The goal was not to fight the front, but to break through it. Blitz wasn't just a tactic. It was psychology, a storm that shattered confidence before bullets did. The same logic powered the pincer movement. 2 sides closing in on one target, forcing an enemy to fight on 2 fronts at once. It turned geography into a weapon, trapping opponents in their own terrain. Armies from Hannibal to the Soviets mastered this, proving that encirclement is the oldest form of domination. Another variation, the single envelopment, used a decoy in front, while the real strike came from the flank. Every tactic of movement is also a tactic of illusion, the art of making the enemy see what isn't there. The oblique order focused force on one side of the enemy line, breaking it like a wedge through glass. It demanded discipline, precision, and perfect timing. One delay, and the advantage was lost. Feigned retreats turned panic into strategy. Armies pretended to run only to reverse and destroy pursuers who believed the lie. The Mongols used it flawlessly, turning weakness into bait. Even chaos can be choreographed. From cavalry to tanks, the pattern never changed: lure, trap, strike. The flying wedge, shaped like an arrowhead, charged forward to split lines apart. Simple, brutal, effective. Police riot formations still use it today, not to kill, but to control. Modern warfare may have traded horses for machines, but the geometry remains the same. Shoot and scoot artillery fires once and disappears before counterfire lands. It's the hit-and-run logic reborn for the missile age where seconds decide survival. Every projectile is a messenger carrying a fraction of time. Marching fire changed infantry combat by replacing fear with momentum. Soldiers advanced while firing, keeping pressure instead of retreating. It proved that motion itself can suppress fear and sometimes the enemy. These offensive tactics reveal one timeless truth: control the initiative and you control the war. To strike first is not about aggression, it's about awareness. The faster army doesn't just move, it predicts. The more precise army doesn't just shoot, it orchestrates. In the art of striking first, victory belongs to the one who sees the future before anyone else moves. Every strong army knows that victory isn't always about attacking. Sometimes survival depends on standing still. Defensive tactics were born not from fear, but from patience, the art of letting the enemy exhaust himself. One of the simplest yet most effective is the hold down position. Tanks use hills or cover to expose only their guns, turning terrain into armor. By lowering visibility, they become hunters disguised as defenders. But this tactic demands stillness. To move is to die. It's a waiting game where control is measured in seconds. Defense in depth follows the same logic: layers of resistance designed to slow, confuse, and bleed an attacker dry. Instead of stopping the enemy head-on, it makes him drown in distance and fatigue. In the trenches of World War I, soldiers learned that walls could protect but also trap. Foxholes became their lifeboats, small, hidden, and close enough to feel the earth breathe. Each hole was a promised protection for now, not forever. Some troops turned the defense into offense through trench raiding, sneaking out at night to sabotage or gather intel. It showed that even in silence, danger moves. Modern infantry still use these principles through tactics like center peel and bounding overwatch. When one team moves, the other covers. When one retreats, the other fires. It's a dance of trust and timing, proof that defense isn't static. It's coordination under pressure. Scorched earth takes defense to its darkest extreme, destroying everything useful before retreating. Used by Russia in World War II, it left invaders with nothing but cold and hunger. Defense in its purest form is about control not over land, but over chaos itself. Every fortification, every trench, every silent pause hides calculation. The greatest defenders don't block, they redirect. The wall bends but doesn't break. The commander waits knowing the storm will pass, but the ground will remain. To hold the line is to outlast emotion. It's the art of staying calm while the world collapses around you. The true measure of power isn't how fast you strike, it's how long you endure. In every war, defense is not weakness, it's wisdom measured in patience and steel. Every great commander knows that battles are won long before the first shot is fired. The real war begins in the mind. Deception is the oldest weapon in human history, older than swords or fire. It works not by killing the enemy, but by confusing him. Recon by fire uses this logic, shooting at possible positions just to make the enemy reveal himself. It's not aggression, it's curiosity weaponized. Sniper trap takes the idea further, wounding one soldier to draw out the rest. It turns empathy into bait, forcing an opponent to choose between compassion and survival. The creeping barrage was coordination in motion. Artillery advanced in a moving wall of fire, allowing soldiers to follow safely behind. It demanded trust, precision, and communication. A single mistake could kill your own men. Musholing transformed buildings into secret passageways, letting troops move unseen through walls. It's urban chess played with explosives instead of pawns. Air assault lifted that logic to the skies, dropping infantry behind enemy lines before they even knew it. Vertical thinking turned warfare three-dimensional. Swarming is chaos with purpose. Many small units attacking from all directions, overwhelming logic itself. It's the tactic of the weak against the strong, using unpredictability as armor. Defeat in detail divides the enemy into fragments, striking small groups before they can unite. It teaches that control isn't about size, it's about timing. These tactics prove that intelligence is not just knowledge, it's manipulation under stress. A good commander doesn't see soldiers, he sees patterns. He reads the enemy's fear like lines on a map. Coordination becomes art when minds move as one. Each plan hides within it a lie so elegant it feels like truth. War at its highest level isn't destruction, it's deception, performed perfectly. Every shadow, every silence, every sudden move is a sentence in the language of strategy. To master war is to master piston. Itself. Every tactic, no matter how clever, ends the same way: in silence. When the smoke clears, only the lessons remain. The art of war was never truly about winning. It was about understanding what humans will do when everything is at stake. Each strategy reveals a fear of losing, of being forgotten, of surrendering control. Behind every map and every order lies the same mode of survival through understanding. Victory is temporary, but wisdom is not. The patterns of war become the blueprints of peace. Nations rise and fall, but the logic of adaptation never dies. What we learn from tactics is not how to fight, but how to think. The same precision that moves armies can move societies if guided by reason instead of fear. In that sense, every general and every soldier has been a teacher. Their battlefield was just a classroom without walls. The chaos of conflict is only the mirror of the human mind, brilliant, flawed, and restless. To study war is to study ourselves, because even in destruction there is design, and in design there is hope. This was Every War Tactic Explained.